So what happens to Letta now?
The bomber has been moved.
Moved? Where? Why should she be moved?
The Republic military has taken her into custody.
But why? This is a Jedi matter, isn't it?
Clones were killed, which makes this terrorist attack a military matter. An attack on the Jedi is an attack on the Senate.
Tarkin really represents the military establishment, and by that I mean what you see in the Empire. The really overwhelmingly powerful arm of the military that we're very familiar with in the original trilogy. Right now, that arm is being run by the Jedi, and it's always been the plan, since Mace argued with the Chancellor,
We're keepers of the peace, not soldiers.
that the Jedi want to remove themselves from the power of the military. So in order to do this, the Chancellor has set up men like Tarkin, men like Ozzel, even Yularen, to, in the long run, take over the military for the Jedi. We get a little bit of a sense of that argument in the Citadel arc with Tarkin, and then we really show how it's evolved this time when we see him, because we see this grand facility for the military that Tarkin has had built. We see a massive staging area. We see the clones at this facility answering very much to Tarkin and less so even Anakin. And all of this shows you that there's this giant mechanism in place that's very hard for the Jedi to counter.
You don't have to tell me any more, Commander Tano.
I don't?
No, there are recorders in every room. Curiously, the sound isn't working on this one.
So, wrapped up in the emotional drama of Ahsoka being accused of a crime, wrongfully or not, we have the underlying symbolism of the big military institution which has grown up almost off screen while we were rooting for it, in the form of all the clone soldiers that we like so much. We see that they're really the weapon of power for a group of men who may not have the best intentions for the Republic in mind.
You yourselves said that you're peacekeepers, not soldiers.
I hope Chancellor Palpatine knows what he's doing.
You know, Tarkin, you always wonder, how much is he aware of the Chancellor's plans to incriminate the Jedi? I don't know that Tarkin really cares Jedi or not. He just wants power for himself. And if he gets the Jedi out of the way in the military, he has tremendously more power. So I think that's what's at stake for Tarkin. I don't think that, you know, he really considers Sith or Jedi. I don't think, he even says to Vader,
Their fire has gone out of the universe. You, my friend, are all that's left of their religion.
So I think he's a lot more pragmatic and political and just interested in ultimately having power, which is a theme for most of the villains in Star Wars.
It's not something where all of a sudden one episode he's a good guy and the next episode he's a bad guy. There is definitely a change where we get to find out what his motivations are. It's like, why is Tarkin doing the things that he's doing? Is it his ambition? Is it something that happened to him that made him the way he is? We don't really know, and that's hopefully what we'll find out more and more as these episodes go along. As an actor, there's got to be some kind of a change, not only in just Tarkin's behavior, but I think also in his voice too. You've got to be able to hear that he's becoming a different person.
This is a secure facility. We do not have just anyone running about. And if there was someone else, why did you not sense them?
Dave Filoni talked to me extensively about what was going on in this arc and what Tarkin's motivations were. So I had a pretty good idea of what Tarkin was trying to do. And, he's starting to become that guy that people don't like too much. And we can kind of get an idea of, why this is all happening.
There she is! Quick! Stop her! Before she gets to the ship!
And Ahsoka on the Run is an awesome sequence. I don't know that our show has ever felt more like Star Wars than when all the clones are chasing Ahsoka Tano. It just looks like Star Wars. Instead of Jedi slicing up battle droids, finally you have what look like stormtroopers chasing down a Jedi. And that's something that I think I always pictured the Clone Wars really to be about. Really, when you look at it in a lot of ways with Anakin leading it, it's Darth Vader hunting down a Jedi Knight.
Ahsoka, what are you doing?
You didn't even try to come and help me.
They wouldn't let me in to talk to you.
You could have if you tried.
The moment between Anakin and Ahsoka at the end of the pipe is one of my favorites. I mean, it's obviously a nod to The Fugitive. If you've seen the movie The Fugitive, there's something about that moment of this kind of this concept of a leap of faith, where Ahsoka, you know, believes in herself and her abilities to overcome this dilemma, and asks of Anakin, "You have to trust me now." It's such a pivotal moment for her character before she leaps into the beyond. It's really one of my favorite moments. It's something that I drew in the very first story meeting we had about this with George. I drew a scene of Ahsoka just leaping off as the camera looks up at her, and I wanted that shot in the episode, and it was really well done. I think that Ashley's acting and Matt Lanter's acting in that scene is some of the best that the two of them have ever done, and it just escalates from here into the final episode, so it's going to be exciting when you see that one.
Anakin, you have to trust me now.
Ahsoka, I do trust you.
I know you do. Wish me luck.